Ancient merchants didn't hoard their gold. They discovered how to make it disappear right under a king's nose. 3,500 years ago, Babylon was a massive economic superpower. Fortunes were being minted daily in its bustling markets. But success made you a target. Powerful monarchs levied heavy taxes to fund their empires, and their soldiers could walk right into a merchant's estate or temple to confiscate whatever they wanted. In the ancient world, a visible mountain of gold acted as a stationary target for any king with a large enough army. So imagine the shock of the royal tax collectors when they raided the home of one of the city's most successful traders, fully expecting to haul away chests of treasure, only to find the vaults completely empty. They bypassed the need for deeper holes in the desert sand, engineering a system that made their wealth legally and physically vanish. Their first move was simple: stop keeping all the profits in a single room. Instead of a central hoard, they dispersed capital across a network of trusted trade partners and distant agents. By scattering assets, they neutralized the threat of a raid. If the king's men seized one operation, it was a minor setback, not total ruin. This dispersion served as a robust defense mechanism, turning a shared profit model into a shield against state power. But keeping track of scattered assets requires the law. The Code of Hammurabi provided a strict legal framework that made complex, non-physical wealth possible. Merchants effectively converted their heavy, stealable gold into written debts, commercial loans, and joint partnerships. Instead of passing actual coins back and forth, these agreements were permanently recorded on clay tablets. Secured by personal oaths and deeply pressed cylinder seals, wealth transformed from a shiny object into a legally binding promise. This deeply frustrated the royal guards. You cannot easily confiscate a clay contract, representing a debt owed by an anonymous merchant 3 towns over. By moving their commerce onto clay, they turned vulnerable physical property into highly protected legal concepts. And when they did possess actual physical goods, they made sure those goods never stayed in one place for long. They kept them in constant motion. They poured their profits into outfitting long-distance caravans, sending valuable cargo across the burning sands to neighboring regions. Historians debate whether these early traders intentionally invented these practices specifically to dodge royal taxes, or if they were just practicing sound commercial risk management. Regardless of the initial intent, the end result was identical. Assets constantly crossing borders are inherently insulated from the reach of any local ruler. So the king's men leave the merchant's house empty-handed, while the merchant's actual net worth continues to multiply quietly in the shadows. Today, we call this survival tactic diversification. Ancient trade routes align perfectly with modern asset classes. Merchants discovered a core truth of finance. Assets flowing through a broad network are nearly impossible to pin down and far harder to seize than static cash. The smartest minds in history don't build bigger vaults, they build better systems of flow. What modern asset do you think is the hardest for anyone to seize today? Let us know in the comments and make sure to subscribe to Ancient Wealth for more historical financial secrets.